president has previously not ruled out military force when he's talking about taking over Greenland, but your rhetoric today is more about encouraging the Greenlandic people to vote for independence. Do you think the rhetoric has changed about that, or what's your message there?
No, I don't think it's changed at all. Look, the president said clearly he doesn't think that military force is going to be necessary, but he absolutely believes that Greenland is an important part of the security, not just of the United States, but of the world, and of course the people of Greenland too. It's very simple. I think the president's been very consistent here from his State of the Union, from his inaugural address, and every public statement that he's made. This territory, Greenland, really matters for the security of the United States. It's extremely vulnerable right now. And if the people of Greenland were willing to partner with the United States, and I think that they ultimately will partner with the United States, we could make them much more secure. We could do a lot more protection, and I think they'd fare a lot better economically as well. This has to happen. And the reason it has to happen, I hate to say it, is because our friends in Denmark have not done their job in keeping this area safe. They just haven't done it. It's very simple. For all of our friends in the American media who attack the administration for pointing out the obvious, what is the alternative? To give up the North Atlantic, to give up the Arctic to China, to Russia, and to other regimes that don't have the best interest of the American people at heart? We have no other option. We need to take a significant position in Greenland to keep the people here safe, but to keep our own country safe too.
I want to take a step back here because I know that the Overton window constantly shifts and we might lose sight of the forest for the trees. This is the American vice president, flanked by American military members, threatening to take over a sovereign country. Like, the stock market is crashing, your 401k is plummeting, costs are surging, consumer sentiment is the lowest it's been in years, and these motherfuckers are talking about invading Greenland? If you are a Trump voter, is this what you voted for? Now let's dig into the specifics of what Vance is actually saying here. First off, that Vance, quote, doesn't think military force is going to be necessary. Imagine not ruling out military force to take Greenland if you had the opportunity. That is bad enough unto itself. The reality is that if you didn't have plans to invade Greenland, then you just say it. Not exactly the kind of thing that you want to hedge on if you don't have to. And second, even if J.D. Vance opted to say unequivocally that military force was off the table, this White House has so little credibility left that it would be difficult to believe them even then. But again, that's not even on the table because Vance's posture here is that he simply doesn't think it's going to be necessary. Senator Mark Kelly picked up on that, writing, "When the VP says that they do not think military force will ever be necessary, he's saying it's on the table. Greenland is of strategic importance, but this administration needs to stop threatening our allies because without allies, we are less safe. It's that simple." To Kelly's point, in what world do you feel more safe? One where the U.S. has become a country that will invade other nations to steal their land? Or one where the U.S. is allied with every other democracy on Earth who will protect us if necessary, just like they did, for example, after 9/11? Take all the time you need with that one. Vance then goes on to say this.
This has to happen. And the reason it has to happen, I hate to say it, is because our friends in Denmark have not done their job in keeping this area safe. They just haven't done it. It's very simple. For all of our friends in the American media who attack the administration for pointing out the obvious, what is the alternative? To give up the North Atlantic, to give up the Arctic to China, to Russia, and to other regimes that don't have the best interest of the American people at heart? We have no other option. We need to take a significant position in Greenland to keep the people here safe, but to keep our own country safe too.
Ah, yes, this is all Denmark's fault. Clearly, they've failed. After all, look at the hotbed of crime, danger, and corruption that is Greenland. But you know what? Let's grant J.D. Vance this notion that Denmark hasn't kept Greenland safe, whatever that may mean, from adversaries like Russia and China. Do you really expect the Trump administration to do more to keep Greenland safe from Russia and China? If there is one person who's derived the most benefit on Earth from Donald Trump's presidency, it's Vladimir Putin. NATO is on the verge of being dismantled as the result of Trump. Trump is negotiating Ukrainian concessions in their war with Russia without Ukraine even being present. He named Putin apologist Tulsi Gabbard the director of national intelligence. Vladimir Putin is playing Trump like a 9-year-old plays an iPad, and yet we're supposed to believe that Donald Trump is going to be a bulwark to Russian aggression? What's next? Making Matt Gaetz in charge of school safety? Jamie Raskin put this moment perfectly when he said this.
He has turned our closest allies in the world into enemies. He's turned our worst enemies in the world into his personal friends and bosom buddies. He's crashed the stock market. He has fired tens of thousands of people from essential jobs like air traffic controller and food and drug and safety inspectors, forest service firefighters. He's undermining the government that we need to keep it all together. So all I can say is if Vladimir Putin himself had invaded America and come up with a plan to try to destroy our economy and wreck the cohesion of our society, he could not have done better than Donald Trump has done on his own with the help of Elon Musk.
The reality is that if Vance had even an ounce of shame, he wouldn't be able to show his face in public. Again, this is an American vice president saber-rattling against our ally. At this point, if Trump told Vance to deport his own wife, I'm not entirely sure that he wouldn't just say sure. In fact, if you need proof of the extent to which he will debase himself on Trump's behalf, watch this.
Well, the president said we have to have Greenland, and I think that we do have to be more serious about the security of Greenland. We can't just ignore this place. We can't just ignore the president's desires.
Vance says, we can't just ignore the president's desires. Ah, right. No, of course, Trump desires to be the ruler of the world, and we can't simply ignore that, can we? After all, he is the God King. He is the deity. Who cares that for hundreds of years America's fought for values like democracy and freedom? What's truly important is what the reality TV star who has a tenuous at best grasp of the English language wants to do in his desperation to satisfy his insatiable ego. And if that means invading the world, so be it, because again, whatever Daddy Trump wants, his little bitch JD Vance is going to give to him. And so I have two messages here. First, for the people of Greenland, and similarly the people of Panama and Canada and any other foreign country that Trump decides he wants to invade or harass, we, the American people, are not our government. The majority of this country hates this guy more than even you hate him right now. And that number is growing by the day in this country. And so while I have zero doubt that this is coloring your view of the United States, know that we, the American people, need all the allies we can get, from within our country and without, to fight back against the plague of Trumpism that has consumed our government and that's threatening to consume yours. And second, to any Republicans or independents out there, take a moment to remember what Donald Trump promised you during the campaign. That he would lower costs on day one, that he understood your pain, that he heard you on housing being too high and rent being too high and groceries being too high. Take a look at the stock market right now. It is tanking. Your 401k is tanking. Consumer sentiment is tanking. Grocery bills are surging. And despite all of that, what is Donald Trump doing to fix any of it? Not a single thing. In fact, every single day he makes it even worse. The market crashes even more. Costs continue to rise ever higher. And yet all the while, he's trying to annex the sovereign territory of our friends and allies. This guy does not care about you. He is not trying to make your life better. He is fucking around, causing problems, trying to build up his legacy and feed his ego, and you're footing the bill for it. You have been sold a bill of goods. You don't have to relitigate your vote for the 2024 election, but do not reward these people with your future support if they were so quick to abuse it the first time.